Distracto.
Good morning, Caleb. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. I'm caffeinated. I'm hydrated. I'm a little congested. Got a cold, so you might hear an occasional sniffle, but that's about it.
It's the air quality. I get it. I've been doing the same thing here, so you are forgiven.
Well, and it's been like, it went from like screaming hot here in Chicago. I was in California for a week, and while I was
Brag.
gone, it was like in the 90s here in the Chicago area. While I'm out in California, and it's like high of 66 in San Francisco kind of thing, so it was like wild. And then I come home and it's like, low 80s, upper 70s. And then now this week, it's fucking 94 today. And it's like like somebody just threw water into the air and it stayed there. So it's just massively humid.
Yeah, at risk of
gross.
sounding like the old men talk about weather podcast in Atlanta, there's been there's been two speeds. It's either Satan's asshole or it's been monsoon season here. So that's basically, there's no middle ground.
Yeah, I think we're in the Satan's Goatsy area of Chicago right now. So it's pretty gross.
So welcome. It's Wednesday, and that means you get us for an hour or so talking about some nonsense.
Well, hump day, speaking of Goatsy, right? It's that day of the week.
But we hope everyone's weeks have been going great. Again, at the top of the show, we want to thank all of our existing listeners and all of our new listeners and people that have been reaching out to us. And it's been really great to hear from you guys. So thank you so much.
But no thanks to that one guy. And he knows.
Oh, that one guy. He's the worst. He does kiss though. So nice. His lips are very soft.
It's because he moisturizes and
allegedly
sunscreen.
You got to moisturize them kissers, baby. So Caleb, how's your week been going, buddy? Like, what have you been up to?
It's been great. I've actually been on top of all the work that I have. I've got some contract work and some clients that I'm doing stuff for, in addition to my own projects and my own things. So got some new stickers designed, and I'm working on some new paintings with some people. So it's been fun. It's good.
Very cool. That's anything in particular distracting you from things at all that you can mention, or just kind of normal life stuff?
I mean, I went and I saw some movies this past weekend. I saw Supergirl, which I really enjoyed.
I enjoyed it too. I didn't think it was as strong as Superman, but I really liked it.
No, but it was lovely. I thought it was a really good movie, and I thought she was a wonderful Supergirl, and I am just always flabbergasted at the amount of online hate from the kind of like Snyder Bros who just nothing they do will be good enough, and all the people who are just like, she's not pretty enough and she's not this, and it's like, guys, go fuck yourselves, because that's
I don't
so
get
dumb.
it. I would prefer 100 times, always 100% of the time, someone who looks unique rather than someone who looks cookie cutter. And whatever the perceived vision of what perfect people are supposed to look like. So, by the way, this is going to be a fun episode.
Wow, I can't wait. I don't even know what we're going to talk about today. So I'm just rolling with it.
I'm going to try to. That's awesome. Yeah, Supergirl was super fun. Anything else, or is that kind of how
and then I saw,
I don't want to.
No, and then I saw Evil Dead Burn, which was
How was that? I loved Evil
Dead
Rise. I loved Evil
Rise was great. And in fact, I just went back last night and rewatched that because I had time to kill, and I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to rewatch this because I'm already kind of in Evil Dead mode. So
that whole scene with the mother in the kitchen was fan-fucking-tastic. So good.
Oh man,
when she's breaking the eggs on the thing.
Oh yeah,
so
and
good.
it's that level of unhinged and unease that it's like that uncanny valley thing where things are almost right, but not quite. And it's enough to just put you off, And then I watched, it was on HBO. I watched Lee Cronin's The Mummy.
Oh, the new one. Yeah. How was that?
Yeah. Which was also fantastic. Yeah. Cause it's not like the Mummy is very distracting as far as a title, because it implies like it brings
Brendan
up
Fraser,
Universal and Brendan Fraser and all those kind of shows. And it's absolutely nothing to do with those. It's not even a retelling of that story. It is a completely different story in every way. But it is super creepy and super well done. Lee Cronin also did Evil Dead Rise. So if you're a fan of that kind of thing, he did this. Cause I was like, who the fuck is Lee Cronin? I can't remember. And he's done a few movies that I've seen that I'm like, oh, okay, so I get it.
He sounds like
so
a character
I
from our Human Centipede episode.
Hello, I am Lee Cronin. So
are you alone? No, yeah, and I love. In a side note, I love that Brandon Fraser has become the face of all things Mummy, because I love that guy, and the Mummy is a family favorite of ours. We anytime it is on television, we definitely leave it on, even though we have it on multiple formats of media to watch. Where we're like, nope, it's on TV. We're watching the Mummy. So,
yep, that's same. It's one of those I will stop what I'm doing to watch that movie. I've watched it 1,000 times, and it's just fantastic. I love the bumper sticker that I see that says, it's like a honk if you love the 1999, film or whatever year it came out, The Mummy with Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz, and all that.
Yeah.
Or I've seen like memes that are like, this is my sexuality. And it's just a picture of Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz together on there. Like, yeah, this was my bi-awakening kind of movie or whatever. I just love everything, all of the love from all ends of the spectrum that get poured into that movie make my heart feel so good. So
my wife, to this day, ever since I started working at a library, which I do, I work at a university library, she always hits me with the Rachel Weisz line when she's drunk at the camp. She's like, I am a librarian. And she says that to me pretty much all the time.
That's one of my favorite lines of the whole movie.
Anytime I bring up library work, she brings it up, and it's very funny.
Patience is a virtue.
I know what you're asking. What's a place like this doing in a girl like me? Which is always very funny.
It's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, no, great movie. I did see Supergirl as well, but I saw it the week before, and I did enjoy it. It was very fun. Yeah, I had a good time. I didn't think too hard about plot holes and stuff, but I thought it was very entertaining. Yeah, I thought Jason Momoa did a good job. I don't really follow the character of Lobo that much, so I don't really know if he's playing true to that character, but you know what? Sounded fun to me, and he looked like he was having a good time. I did like how he lost his accent immediately. Like, he started off speaking in kind of like this pseudo alien English accent, and then like
immediately is like, oh, fuck it.
I'm just going to be Jason Momoa from the rest of this movie.
Well, and see, there's certain actors who it's like, no matter what role they're in, they're always themselves. Like Jason Momoa, Will Smith is like that.
He's become a character in himself. Like, just himself has been now a character.
Right.
Like The Rock, same thing.
Yeah, it's like they're not, they can't, for whatever reason, we can't get past their own personality. For some reason, like with Will Smith, he can play a diverse group of characters. They look different. Their backgrounds are different. But at the same time, I always see it's just Will Smith to me, no matter what it is. And the sets, again, it's the same with The Rock, but The Rock
Jack
is
Black
less
is like that a lot.
Yep. They're all, it's all the same character. And but here's the thing. I like seeing those characters anyways. So,
yeah,
it's
what you're going to get when you see that on the cast list. But, yeah, I've been this week for me, I've been obsessed with a YouTube channel that I kind of accidentally discovered. It is called The Good Pirate, which is exactly as it's spelled, and it's basically the adventures of this Australian guy. I think he's like 26 or 27, named Baden Lesueur. It's Baden Lesuer, and he is sailing around the Great Barrier Reef in his catamaran that he like mostly lives on, and he streams videos, he dives, he hunts for treasure, like with metal detectors, like rings and jewelry that people drop. He fishes for his food.
How does he keep his stuff charged, like his tech?
He's got solar panels, he's got battery arrays on his boat. It's fascinating, and it's really fun, and like the water that he's in is like crystal blue, and he's always snorkeling, and it's just like he's got his dogs on his boat. Occasionally, lately, he's had his partner. I don't know if they're romantically involved or not, but her name is Lucy Long, and she is Lucy Lawless, yeah. Xena Warrior Princess is on the boat. She is also a YouTuber. I don't follow her as closely, but she also does the spearfishing stuff and the diving and being on the boat. And it's awesome. Like, it's just like, come with me on this boat cruise for however long I'm going to be out. And like the camera work is great. He's got drones that fly around and do like aerial photography. He does like all the stuff that you might he doesn't glamorize it. He's like, oh yeah, my fucking engine broke, so I have to fix this, and this is what I'm doing for this.
So
episode.
is he like he's sleeping on this boat?
He's sleeping on the boat,
entering land. He's just going. He's circumnavigating the continent.
Yeah, he's just going around the coast of Australia. I think in the later episodes, he's actually trying to buy a new catamaran that'll take him overseas. So he wants to go to like European areas and stuff, like Mediterranean, maybe, I don't know. But his family, he comes from a family of like experts. Like his dad wrote a book about multi-hull boat sailing.
Oh wow.
And I don't know anything about sailing. First of all, I just really like this guy's channel. It's like you just watch it and you're just like, this guy's living the fucking life. You're like, good for him, dude. He's killing it out there. And it's like he gets his money through advertising. Like people send him like, oh, try advertise this new GoPro camera or whatever. He's got a Patreon account. And he does do a little bit of treasure stuff. So like if he'll find a ring, he tries to get it back to the owner. But if it's like impossible, he'll like sell it at a pawn shop or something or whatever.
Sure.
But but he like hunts for his food. He's like, yeah, we need dinner, so I'm going to go down to this reef and spear a coral trout or whatever. And he cooks it up, and it's so cool. And I get really, awesome. I get genuinely excited when a new video of his drops. And I'm like, I love this guy. I really do. And I actually sent him a message from the Distracto Instagram saying, hey, I'm really loving your content. I'm going to give you a shout out on our meagerly subscribed to channel. We just started out, but I hope that it's okay. And so shout out to you, the good pirate, Baden Lesueur. I hope I'm pronouncing your last name correctly. I really enjoy your content.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, I will do a shot of rum in his honor.
And he does do that. He has short form stuff too on TikTok where he'll do like very like quickly cut together stuff, like go through his whole day.
Oh yeah.
They're like distilled versions of his YouTube stuff. And then he's like, and as always, rum on sunset. And he'll like a little glass of rum.
That's awesome. That does my heart good, man.
Yeah. And I'll include the link to his YouTube channel in the show notes. So if you guys want to give him a follow, I mean, even if you don't have any sort of interest in ocean life, it's just really, it's kind of just wholesome and fun to watch this guy having fun on this boat in beautiful, beautiful, like postcard type scenery. It's gorgeous.
The picturesqueness of it all is probably worth it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's been warming the cockles of my cold, bitter robot heart for the last couple of weeks, and I'm enjoying it. So yeah, this is kind of what we've been up to. Just getting ready for the summer, getting ready for, I know Caleb, you got some conventions coming up and a convention coming up, and then we're getting some promotional materials together for y'all. So if you come out and see us, Dragon Con or wherever Caleb's going to be, we'll have stickers and we'll have cool ribbons, and we're going to have some pins.
Yeah, so I'm excited about the pins because I'm a pin collector, amongst other things, right? I've got like all kinds of pin boards, and I love having those on there. So I've always wanted one, and so now Distracto is going to have our own pin, and they're going to be available for the first time at Dragon Con. So if you're there, that's how you can get one. If we have leftovers after that, we will definitely make them available online. I can add them to my website's shop, and you can buy them right there. And
we could probably do even a store link through our link tree as well. But yeah, it'll link to your store. But we're doing a limited run, so we've only made like 50 because we don't really know how they're gonna do.
We're gonna have 49 left after Dragon Con is done.
Oh no, we'll have 48 left because each of us will have
true.
One.
There you go.
And my son said he wanted one too. So but yeah, I saw the proof and they look fucking awesome. So I hope they turn out as good as they look.
I'm excited.
So yeah.
Yay.
Yay. So yeah, that's kind of all the biz, I think. First, the business we have to get rid of or deal with in the first part of the show. But yeah. So this week is an interesting one, Caleb. And I told you this earlier. I don't know how funny it's gonna be, but it's gonna be. Yeah.
Well, I'm a dark humor person. Like I love all of the really terrible jokes that people groan at, and I laugh, and I understand intellectually they're bad, but I kind of fall into that laugh or cry. I'm laughing so I don't cry kind of thing. So
this might be right in the vein of that. And I just wanted, before we start, I know none of us are seeing, but I want to get ready for you on camera. So I brought my beauty tool with me, which is very helpful. So if you'll give me a second, I'm just going to go ahead and try to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
You see it. You can see it on camera. Totally
see. I have no idea where you're going with this.
All right. So hold on. Let me just, I'm going to pull away from the microphone. So, oh God. Oh Jesus. Oh. That's good. That's good stuff right there. So yeah, sometimes you just need a good whack in the morning. And I don't mean that way. Good blunt force trauma to the face. Caleb,
Yes.
do you know what LOOKSMAXXING is? Have you heard of LOOKSMAXXING?
Oh my God. Yeah. Yes. Yes. In fact, my kids and I will joke about it. We'll say things like, like my son will come downstairs and he'll be irritated, and my daughter will look at me and she'll go, he's pissed maxing right now, or he's angry pilled, things like that. And so yeah, we all in our house, we all are always poking kind of fun at the LOOKSMAXXING nonsense.
So, and there is a lot to be poked fun at. And let me preface this with, this is our first listener suggestion episode, actually.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So my friend, who goes by K, the letter K, I have known her since high school. We worked together at our local grocery store. We have been friends for a billion years, and she hit me up on Instagram and suggested LOOKSMAXXING. So thank you, Kay. We love you. Thank you so much.
Is Kay part of the dynasty of K Marts? Like, does her family own
K Jewelers,
the
K Mart, Circle K? She owns it all. She's very, very wealthy.
That is a diverse portfolio between K Jewelers, K Mart, and Circle K. I mean,
yep.
That's
she is. She's part. She's the part of the heiress to all of those things.
It's not quite a Hilton heiress like Paris Hilton, but
No, we're just looking for that huge influx of money from her fortune. No, she yeah, for the sake of this, yeah, she absolutely is. She owns all.
I
those
love
things.
that.
Yep,
I love it.
Yep. She called me from her gold-plated helicopter the other day. It was nice.
I don't know how practical that is, but that sounds badass.
It's not. It does not fly well at all. It's very, very heavy.
It lands. You have to repair it because the metal's so soft.
It's very soft metal. So thank you again, Kay, for this. We appreciate the suggestion. And honestly, I had only heard about it to a surface level too. My son's a little bit older, so he's sort of at the a level of, he thinks it's kind of ridiculous because it's, he doesn't fall in for all those, crazy influencer trends, which I'm glad he doesn't. But we're just gonna have to get into this. So LOOKSMAXXING, spelled LOOKSMAXXING. What exactly is it? LOOKSMAXXING is a viral social media trend focused on aggressively maximizing physical attractiveness. While it encompasses common self-care like skincare and fitness, through social media, it's evolved into a highly controversial subculture where some users heavily scrutinize facial metrics and sometimes promote extreme or dangerous physical alterations. Now, I'm going to be doing a lot of reading in this episode because there was so many articles, and I will preface this again with, I will barely scrape the surface during this episode because there's so much stuff to be mined, and there's so many like intricacies and controversies. I'm basically
you're not going to be data maxing this episode then.
I'm not going to be data maxing or research maxing
any of it.
I could write a published juried paper about this, and there have been ones that I've looked at in academic circles about this phenomenon. So, in simple terms, LOOKSMAXXING is basically trying to make oneself look good for social media, right?
Well, hell, I have completely failed on every level of the LOOKSMAXXIng trend.
Of the two of us, you have maxed your look way more effectively.
Wow. Well,
why did you think I needed to take a hammer to my face before we started this, Caleb?
Well, you got to shift those bones around a bit. Your cheekbones need some work there, Brian.
You laugh. We'll get into that. So this trend is, dude, I lost a lot of faith in humanity the other day when I was researching this.
I'll do my best to be the humor in the dark humor of all of this,
I'm counting on you to be. There's going to be a nice participation section for you, which I'm very excited to see what you come up with.
I always like a little audience participation.
So strap in, and hopefully you have your comfort cup of coffee or a cup of booze or whatever. So let's go down this crazy alley. This trend is primarily aimed at young men and teenage boys. I wasn't able to get a good metric on how many women are affected by this, but women know a little bit about unrealistic beauty standards for all of time. So yeah, I'm sure they know what they're doing. So basically, these boys who want to quote max their looks or whatever, and they go to dangerous lengths sometimes to achieve this. So where did this all come from? Right? This started around 2010-ish, like the early 2010s, from an online an online incel and manosphere communities, because of fucking course it did.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yep. Again, I'm going to go into some terminology here. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, the term incel is an abbreviation of involuntary celibate, and it is a subculture of heterosexual men who claim to be unable to find sexual or romantic partners despite their desire and effort. There's a quote here. The community is frequently characterized by deep-seated misogyny, self-pity, and entitlement, with many members blaming women and societal structures for their lack of success. So super cool dudes.
Well, it's of course it's the women's fault, right? Because these men aren't attractive enough to attract mates. And it's like, hey man, I think women definitely, just like men do, women have their preferred way a man should look. Some people are attracted to beards, some people are tattoos or clean or tall or whatever it is, dad bods, it doesn't matter. But nothing makes up for a completely shitty personality.
And as a father of a teenage boy, and as someone who grew up in a household whose mother was the primary breadwinner, not saying my dad didn't work, he also did, but very, take charge, corporate type personality my mom had growing up. I've always responded better to women as far as in a position of authority, just because of the way I was raised.
Sure.
I have sisters. I've apologized for my gender so many times because of how shitty certain men can be. And I'm not saying all of you are shitty, and I'm hoping the ones that listening to this podcast aren't those shitty ones. And if you are shitty, do something about it, because nobody wants to be that guy. But yeah, it's just with men I don't get it. I don't get why we're like this. I really don't. And it's probably just stems from deep-seated insecurities and stuff, but it's like, dude, come on.
It's baffling to me, man, because I remember, similar situation. My mom was not in a position of authority, but my mom had a very strong personality. And so growing up, I was around her a lot. Obviously, she raised me and my siblings. But, there's something in that that made me respect not just strong women, but just women in general. I think having sisters and being around women and understanding the biological needs of women, as well as the mental health and the emotional needs of people. I also was never discouraged from crying or saying I love you. Like my family said I love you, and we gave each other hugs and kisses on the cheek all the time. So emotions and being emotional were such a normalized part of my life that I have never, ever been in a position where I looked at a woman and thought she's lesser than me because I'm a man. Or somehow our sex, our biological sex, was somehow an unequal opportunity. And it took me forever to even realize things like pay gap was a thing. It just never occurred to me because I was never in an environment where that was a thing.
Right. It's
until suddenly
crazy.
I realized I had been in it for a long time and just had no concept of it. So all of this kind of looks-maxing, hyper masculinity stuff, I see just right through it immediately.
It's so dumb.
It's such utterly nonsensical to me.
So again, on that line of, conversation, the manosphere, again, for people that don't know, it already kind of sounds like what it is, which is dumb as fuck. Basically, it's
that's the greatest question. Look it up online. What is the manosphere? The definition is just dumb as fuck.
Basically, it's another subculture of online influencers and communities that promote anti-feminist and male supremacist ideologies. So basically, the same dipshits who got angry at Mad Max Fury Road because Charlize Theron's character was the focal point of the movie, or folks who got pissed that there is Rey, the Lady Jedi, in Star Wars. I mean, they're human garbage, these fucking people. So, and yeah, come at me, manosphere. You guys suck. Whatever. There is a Netflix documentary that I've been neglecting to watch because I don't want to get even more sad about my gender. But it is, I think it's called Inside the Manosphere, and I hear it's really good. And it's done by a guy who's he's an English reporter. I forget his name. I can probably edit this in later or add it to the show notes, but he goes into the whole world of this fucking crazy toxic male energy stuff. And it's weird because it's almost like in the late 90s, for those of us that were, teenagers in early 20s, then there was this undercurrent of this toxic male energy, this aggro culture with, you can see about bands like Limp Bizkit and Korn. And again, I like these bands. They're fine.
Well, you know
And
what? All you
Deftones
have
stuff,
to do is look at the Woodstock or the Woodstock '99 documentary.
Yes, watch both.
There's a couple
documentaries.
of them. Either
Trainwreck
of them.
is fantastic, and then the other one on HBO is so good.
They're both. I've watched them both.
They're so good. I've watched them multiple times. I fucking love them.
Yeah, and it's like like I can.
They're great.
First off, I'm embarrassed that I grew that was like the era where I was that age, right? That was my peak. If I could have been there, I would have wanted to be there. Having watched those documentaries, I'm so glad I wasn't, like, on every level. But when you see the way that this hyper male aggression is just unleashed and the chaos and damage it does, not just to the place that they're at, but to the culture at large, and how it brings it all down because guys just want to act like fucking apes. It's ridiculous.
Well, it's terrifying when any group of people get into a large, uncontrolled mob that you can get a vibe of that situation. And again, the people who organized Woodstock '99 were complete idiots for doing it the way they did.
Absolutely.
But and they
naive to the max.
It was a cash grab. But so a lot of the blame does fall on their shoulders, and I understand that as a concert goer myself. If I had to put up with all this crap, I would have been also enraged as well, but not enough to like sexually assault somebody or maybe set property on fire or whatever.
Like my anger never goes from, man, I'm so fucking angry that the cookies are sold out at Crumble
that will put me into a blind rage, and I will set the entire store on fire if the cookies are not on sale.
I've never thought, man, they don't have my banana caramel like glazed cookie. I'm gonna go sexually assault this person.
No sexually assaulting. Maybe myself after the cookie for some guilt sex. But
well, there's enough sugar in there to do it for everybody.
So getting back to, we've heard incel, we've heard manosphere, so it's really no shocker that the term looksmaxing sprung from this shallow and very stupid well that it's a part of. So looksmaxing, like I said before, it's a self-improvement thing, and there's two main categories, possibly. That kind of can be subcategorized into. One is called soft maxing, which sounds gross.
That sounds like something I would never want to be a part of, just in general.
Yeah. And again, I'll put links to all my sources. There's quite a few links that I went to, and I'm reading a lot from, so bear with me. So soft maxing is a subset of looksmaxing that refers to non-invasive and simple practices used to achieve minor improvements to one's appearance. So this could be skincare, clothing choices, grooming, general fitness, weight management, and exercise. So really, honestly, this is the most normal thing that I'm probably going to be talking about in the looksmaxing umbrella.
Just like daily maintenance, like care of your physical self.
You wake up, you brush your hair, you put some product in, you work out, you go for you watch what you eat. You want to present the best version of yourself, but in a healthy way, and that's fine.
So I would say most people. I'm never going to say most people. That's a stupid generalization, Caleb.
Most. I'm
going to say a lot of
most
people
practical people. Let's put it that way.
Normal. Yeah. There you go. People who generally care, or professional people who are in an environment where they're around people all the time. If they care enough about how they're presenting themselves, they're going to be using moisturizer. They're going to be doing things which are not ridiculous for a man to do, and put their best foot forward.
Right. And again, these are seen very commonly. So magazines such as GQ, Esquire, Men's Health, who have been around for many years, they're popularized in that. So like, skincare routines, hairstyle advice, normal, like, I want to improve myself, or I'm on the dating market, or I want to get a job or I want to get this job and I want to look great. And, or I want to be, get in shape for a wedding or beach season, whatever. Like, that's fine. Like, that's whatever. These aren't high risk things to do. Some other things, and I'll get into that. Like, they have do you know what mewing is? MEWING.
Oh my God! So my kids,
you've heard of this? Okay.
Introduced. I can't even speak. I can't. My English is failing me.
All right.
They introduced it to me.
You did this in another one too, where you referred it. You said referred it to something.
Fucking make it.
Which I think we just need a glossary of Caleb terms when we do this.
Caleb terms. Introduced and
referred it.
Referred it.
Yeah. Yep. Oh no, I get to hear it multiple times when I'm editing, dude, and you're doing terrific.
I love that. I love that. Well, yeah, it's like they'll do this thing, they smile or whatever, they wink, and then they run their finger along their jaw.
There's that, and also this was a this is named after a controversial British orthodontist. I guess they're brothers, John and Mike Mew, spelled M-E-W. And mewing is a slang term, again, in the LOOKSMAXXING world, and it refers to the practice of placing one's tongue on the roof of their mouth flat to supposedly make their jaw structure look more defined. So you're basically like moving stuff around. And I tried this in the mirror, and I didn't see any difference at all. So
so you know what it is it's I used to do this. Interestingly, we were told to do this when we were taking photos.
To stick your chin out, right?
You know, what you do is you put, it's easier to describe it as you put the back of your tongue flat up against the roof of your mouth. If you do the back, what it's doing is it's, you don't want to do it like that. Like we're doing this to each other in our video feed here.
I look like a goblin right now.
But like it's the back of it, and what it does is it raises like your double chin, and it raises your lower part of your like your I don't know what you call this part that's under your jaw, all that flesh there before you hit your neck.
I call it my
raises
waddle.
That up a little bit.
I call it like a turkey.
There you go. Your waddle, like a turkey, right?
Yeah.
It raises it up. It tightens it up a little bit. So if you're standing there, and you can't sustain that for very long because your throat gets tired. So you stop. But like in a moment when you need like a flash or you're trying to impress somebody, throw that back of your tongue up to.
It's the same way, and I always joke about with my sister, my younger sister. Whenever she takes a photo, like a selfie, she always wants to shoot it from above, and we always have to stick our necks out, which does make us look better. But it's like this mewing is harmless. It's not, you're not doing any sort of surgery.
Nope.
You're not hurting yourself by doing this. I think it's very silly, but it's
it's all silly.
But
I always hated doing that when I was taking band photos. It's like, you know what? I'm a bigger dude. I've got a little bit under my jaw, right? It's fine.
So these guys,
do that.
These guys, John and Mike Mew, have also promoted and discredited methods as they claim to reshape the teeth or jaw for cosmetic and health benefits. I didn't get into all that, but I have 2 YouTube videos of them. One of the guys, I don't know if it's John or Mike, talking about mewing. And then there's another video of a very pretty influencer person. I think she's Indian, and she's doing the mewing thing. So I don't know her actual name. So don't I'm not trying to discredit her channel or whatever, but she's doing the example of it. And I'll include those in the show notes as well.
And I think interestingly too, and I think at this juncture, it's probably important for at least me to note that I have no problem with anyone doing anything that they want to feel better about themselves, right? Like you want to get plastic surgery, you want to have your nose done or your lips done, please go for it. I don't live your life. I don't have the thought process you have when I look at you. I probably don't think you need it, but my opinion is
your body.
Irrelevant.
As long as you're, my concern is as long as you're not doing anything dangerous or potentially deadly. Again, it's your body.
Correct.
I would consult your family, your friends, your primary care physician, whatever, before you get into any of this stuff, and don't listen to some fucking guy or gal on TikTok and that be your sole reason for doing it. So keep that in mind as moving forward, because we will be doing a lot of laughing.
I'm not, things, and I don't want anybody to. I want to just make it clear that I am not judging anyone for wanting to take care or plastic. You want to get your jaw reshaped because you hate the way it looks. Please go do it. I think the difference is we're going to find that this LOOKSMAXXING stuff is really toxic in that
it's more like cyberbullying in a lot of ways, which is
absolutely
not healthy. So that's our little, and I agree with you, Caleb, 100%. And this is kind of our disclaimer for this. Just keep that in mind. We're not trying to tell anybody what to do. We just hope you make good choices and do it for the right reasons.
Please make good choices.
Please make good choices. So another one of these minor soft maxing things is NoFap, where basically one abstains from masturbation for perceived physical and mental benefits. I don't know if this works. I mean, it seems to fall.
I think everybody would go insane.
Right. It seems to fall into like kind of it seems like a gateway incel thing. But again, if that's your jam and you don't want to masturbate, then okay.
You know what?
fine.
That also seems like
Sure.
it's kind of like a social currency. Like, oh, are you part of this
Yeah.
LOOKSMAXXING? When was the last time you did that?
I'm
And
doing it right
it's like,
now.
right. Oh God, Ugh. I'm turning off the video
Soon
camera.
after
Brian.
I'm putting down my hammer and I'm getting right into fapping. That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
But you know, God, please don't fap with the hammer.
Hammer Fap, another great metal band name, Hammer Fap.
Oh man, hey, that's the name of my autobiography.
I mean, they're going to open up for Phantom Kangaroo, man. All right, so another on the other side of the spectrum is hard maxing, which sounds equally gross. Hard maxing, again spelled with 2 X's, all one word, is another subset of LOOKSMAXXING, which refers to the more extreme practices in order to achieve significant changes to one's appearance and facial structure. These include off-label or unauthorized use of substances such as anabolic steroids, peptides, human growth hormone, aromatase inhibitors. I'm not quite sure what that is. Weight loss medications to achieve taller stature. I mean, I don't know how the growth hormones, I guess, would help with that. Maybe, I don't know. More masculine appearances and greater muscle mass, extreme dieting, which, to the point of starvation, which is never good, to achieve a low BMI or body fat level, and skin whitening to achieve a lighter skin tone, which is interpreted as being more desirable and undergoing cosmetic surgery, such as jaw surgery and rhinoplasty. So nose jobs, getting your jaw reset or whatever. Again,
I have heard of a recent.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't even want to consider it a trend because I doubt it's happening en masse like this. But there has been an uptick in the number of people who have been lengthening their legs through that bone splitting surgery where they.
And I've heard of calf implants being a popular thing too. I don't know if it's still as popular, but people would get I forget, there was some kind of reality show where a guy was getting calf implants because his calves weren't well defined. And no matter what he did to work out, he couldn't get these nice, robust, muscular looking calves. So he would actually, almost like breast implants, I'd imagine, he'd have silicone bags put into his calves to make them look more, I don't know, muscly.
Appealing, muscly. I mean, yeah.
Appealing, yeah.
I mean, that.
So anyway, so again, but what I remember watching, he was doing this under doctor supervision. So he was going to a plastic surgeon. He was going to someone who did this before. He wasn't just going to some dude in a van somewhere.
Hey man, you got any chicken cutlets in a Ziploc bag?
Yeah, that's how I would do it.
That sounds like something you'd find on the MARTA. You're just sitting there and some guy would walk up to you and be like, "Hey man, you need some chicken? I got a sack of meat."
In Atlanta, if you haven't seen either discarded chicken wings or a bag of loose meat, then you're not doing Atlanta correctly.
Guys selling loose meat and some diabetic socks. It's like,
hey man, you can get some loose meat. So we're going to go into a little bit more of the hard maxing stuff because this stuff is pretty fucking bonkers. So one of the things that I kind of referred to in my terrible bit early on in the episode was bone smashing, which I didn't think was a real thing. And I looked up, you can check my search history. I'm like, is bone smashing real? I went on Snopes, everything. So bone smashing refers to the act of hitting one's face against objects such as a hammer in order to create a chiseled look.
Oh, wait, hang on. I like that it's framed as hitting one's face against a hammer, as in not smacking yourself in the face with a fucking hammer.
So it's often described when discussing LOOKSMAXXING, popularized on TikTok because, sure. Bone smashing shows influencers encouraging viewers to take a hammer and repeatedly hit their cheekbones and jaw in order to create micro fractures in their bone structure. The goal in theory is to cause minor damage to underlying bone, which will change the shape of your face as it heals to give you a squarer face look, like a stronger jawline, more pronounced chin, that kind of shit. Which sounds just insane to me to do this. But anyway, LOOKSMAXXers attribute bone smashing's efficacy to something called Wolff's Law, which was named after this 19th century German surgeon Julius Wolff. And in the law, it states that healthy bones adapt and strengthen in response to healing or loading. It says loading here, but I think it's healing. The idea is that bones grow and strengthen under repeated stress as to why some knuckle boxers punch walls and kickboxers roll bottles over their shins. So they're tightening up their muscles. They're reshaping it through like almost like erosion would do in like a riverbed.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally get that. I've seen those videos of like martial artists who are punching like rope covered like dummies and wood things to make their bones stronger and to heal and get everything stronger, or like, and they'll have these massive calluses on
Well,
like
I
their
mean, guitar
knuckles
players,
or
you're a guitar
fingers.
player. You have calluses that build up over time when you're
Yeah.
plucking the strings and stuff. So
It's
I
a
mean,
natural resistance to
Right.
environmental effects.
I'm not
you
saying
know.
bone smashing is the same as building up calluses, but I'm saying I can understand that line of thinking.
Sure.
But
This is an insane reason. It's not for
so
actually
stupid.
strength. It's
No.
it's the idea
Yeah.
of, or the concept of looking better, which is an amorphous idea.
Yeah. In this article, it says there is no research to back this up, however. This is a quote. The very basic premise that repetitive mechanical load can influence bone density or remodeling is not completely divorced from science, says Dr. Joshua Rosenberg. He's a facial plastic surgeon and associate professor of, oh my God, this is a big word, otolaryngology at Mount Sinai. He says it's just widely misunderstood and misapplied here. So this theory of what we were talking about, yes, there is some truth to the reshaping of bones, but not by hitting yourself in the face with a goddamn hammer.
Good God.
Don't do that. so anyway, the Julius Wolf guy also stated that bone in a healthy animal will adapt to the loads under which it is placed. If loading on a particular bone increases, the bone will remodel itself over time to become stronger and resist that sort of loading. So that's kind of a more in-depth description of what I was trying to say earlier about the bone thing from Wolf's Law.
Yeah, I mean, you would have to,
Right.
you get to a point where if you're going to follow that, yeah, the bone is going to resist, because you'd have to keep hitting it harder now, and you'd have to keep going harder eventually to the point where you're not just doing tears or whatever, micro fractions. Right. You're actually going to just friggin' fracture your face.
Yeah, as a LOOKSMAXXING method, doctors shockingly do not recommend and have cited severe risks to one's health as severe trauma, nerve damage, functional impairment, traumatic brain injuries, reconstructive surgery, to fix what you did, basically. There's another article that I read from a Dr. Diana Kennedy, who's a plastic and reconstructive surgeon at the Mater Private Hospital in Brisbane, Australia. And she had a couple
She's
things
quoted
to say.
as just saying, don't.
She's like, what the fuck are you doing, mate?
Just don't.
I reckon that's going to really destroy your chin. She's quoted as saying, Dr. Kennedy, is repeated trauma to the face with a hammer or blunt object can cause soft tissue swelling and bony microfractures, but this does not translate to an improved appearance. You only have to look at a UFC fighter or boxer's face to see how repeated trauma can lead to an unfavorable scar tissue, possible nerve damage, and likely permanent disfigurement. Bone smashing will definitely not give you a chiseled jawline or cheekbones, but it could cause permanent disfiguration. So anyone keen to change their appearance should seek the advice of a medical expert and never resort to do-it-yourself treatments at home. Yeah, no shit. Thank you, Dr. Kennedy.
I'm going to alter my bone structure. What do I have here that's reasonable to help me? Oh, I've got this hammer and perhaps a chisel.
I have an angle grinder. That might work.
Yeah. I have this cheese shredder. I can just kind of if I get through the skin, I can get to the bone and shave a little off.
Jesus Christ. So this is one of the more extreme LOOKSMAXXING nonsense things that I read about. Another one that you probably heard of is Turkish hair transplant procedures.
Oh, I've seen some videos online of guys all going to Turkey to get their hair done.
Now
I don't know why Turkey is like the place for this.
I don't know. I think it maybe I honestly think it's because of the cost of it. Maybe the availability. So I looked this up and it's basically exactly as it sounds. It's optimizing facial framing, dropping perceived age by decades by, getting your hair transplanted. So if men who are losing their hair want to look younger, they do these procedures in Istanbul, Turkey to utilize, and they utilize densely implanted grafts. I don't know what FUE or DHI techniques are, but those are the techniques. They can range anywhere between $2,000 to up to $20,000. In the U.S., so $2,000 to $5,000 in Turkey, compared to like almost triple that, $15,000. So the cost is a huge issue of why.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's cheaper to like. It's even. I mean, everything in America is so expensive right now. It's cheaper to buy a flight to Japan, get a hotel, spend a couple days at Tokyo Disneyland, and then fly home than it is straight up for me to take my family to Florida for like 2 days. and all of it there at Disneyland, Disney World there. It's ridiculous. So I can understand hey, let's go to a place that's reputable that can do this, and I'm gonna, be pocketing the extra $10,000 after all is said and done.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that these places in Turkey aren't reputable or know what they're doing or don't know what they're doing. They seemed like, I went on a couple of their websites and they seemed legit. Not that thankfully I don't need hair transplant surgery, but I mean, they look like a normal doctor.
Well, and now that the bonus effect of checking out their websites is now you're going to be getting ads for the next 15 years in your algorithm. All saying, hey, Brian.
I just gave them all your information. Is that okay? So you're gonna get
perfect.
You're gonna get some actual printed literature coming to the house.
I am so excited. I cannot wait to get these. I'm gonna take photos with all of them.
So because a hair transplant is a surgical procedure, it does fall under the hard-maxing category of this sort of genre of self-improvement. And success requires intense vetting. So anytime you're going to get surgery, obviously you want to do some research, right?
Well, I think all of this LOOKSMAXXING stuff, I feel like truly falls under gender affirming care, which a lot of these guys are also wildly opposed to. Because of the hyper male aggression kind of stuff. So it's funny that, that stuff kind of gets taken as that's something trans people do, and we don't like trans people, so we're gonna say no, you can't do that. But then they're out here making themselves look even more masculine. It's like, guys, it's the same damn thing.
And by we don't like trans people, we mean like the manosphere. Caleb and I love trans people. We are totally fine with you guys.
Oh yes, I have several trans friends, and they make my life better. And why can I not?
Yeah. Anyway, so this does fall under hard-maxing. You can use people can use directories like medical departures or Book-IMED to compare hundreds of verified Turkish clinics. So they do have some kind of level of verification you can go through if you're planning on doing this. They have packages, which actually sounds like a vacation. So they include airport transfers, hotel accommodations, translators. When people are evaluating,
I get the free buffet though. I mean, is there a buffet?
Possibly like. They say
Turkish
most
buffet
providers
sounds great and diarrhea inducing.
Oh yeah. But most providers, which I didn't know, operate in an all-inclusive medical tourism model. So again, like the tourism thing. So for an average price between $2,500, $5,000 US, your package could include the surgical procedure, a luxury hotel accommodations for 3 or 4 nights, VIP airport and clinic transfers, post-operative medications, and 1 year of remote aftercare and monitoring. So it honestly doesn't sound too bad if you're really going into this.
Did you say between 2,500?
2,500 and 5,000 US.
You can't even get a fucking MRI or CAT scan in the United States for $2,500.
Turkey's prices as of this particular, this is a website called Cosmedica. It's COSMEDICA.com. This is a Turkish, from what I could tell, Turkish hair transplant site. Grafts pricing costs between 50 cents to $2.50 US per graft. So, again, US prices can range from $10,000 to $20,000, which is $3 to $8 per graft. This is so much cheaper. So I understand why people are going over to Turkey to do this. And honestly, in terms of hard-maxing, this is one of the least insane things I've heard as far as like,
this is a fairly normalized American male thing, male pattern baldness reversal.
I mean, Bosley hair restoration, all that kind of stuff is bad.
God, man, I grew up in the era of, Rogaine commercials on TV, even on MTV and stuff like that, back when MTV was still a thing. And you'd get Rogaine commercials, you'd get all kinds of hair restoration stuff, and now, of course, hair plugs, and you'd get all kinds of things like this. So this idea is so already ingrained in kind of like male American culture that it's normal. Yeah. Hitting yourself in the face with a hammer, not normal.
No, and also hair doesn't feel great.
Totally normal. Yeah.
It doesn't feel great.
You got to explain to your fucking boss the next day. Yeah, sorry. I got in a fight with a hammer.
Yeah. So,
I lost.
So again, this is not so bad. Rattling off a couple of the bullet points, and I won't go into these super crazy, but hard-maxing, dangerous stuff, steroid use, unregulated hair transplant plastic surgery. So if you're going into a place that's not reputable or you didn't vet, those kind of things. Using pumps for penis stretching, which reminds me of Austin Powers. Removing...
This is my bag, baby.
Removing ribs for a sculpted waist. So that's crazy. Starve maxing, which is exactly as it sounds, encourages extreme dieting and also can cause eating disorders. White maxing, which I kind of mentioned before, which is using creams to present a more white skin tone. So you're basically kind of like, yeah, really, you're making your skin more pale. And edge maxing, which is also the no FAP term, which is withholding climaxing in order to boost testosterone and improve appearance. I don't understand how not having sex improves your appearance, but I don't know. We won't go down that road, but sex is great, you guys. You should try it. It's pretty cool.
Please, guys, stop this. Stop this nonsense. It's like, I just don't understand. There's so much pseudoscience and things that it goes to show you that information presented with confidence, no matter who it's from, is something a lot of people will believe. And I'm not sure if it's the desire to submit to authority that a lot of really hyper masculine men do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you look at even our political sphere, a lot of the hyper aggressive men tend to be on the right. It's not an exclusive thing by any means, but they're submissive to this kind of extreme male authority.
Well, they even mentioned that a little bit in one of the articles, like the guy Andrew Tate, who I admittedly don't really want to go into too much knowing about. But
I don't want to talk about him at all.
He's a former MMA guy, kickboxer, and he's an influencer, and he's basically a huge manosphere proponent, and he has seen being associated with our current administration as not a bad and horrible thing. So that's dangerous when you start getting into the political influence of it all. So what Caleb is saying exactly holds water in regards to how things are being disseminated throughout the public. So yeah.
And so I don't know how the idea of like not having sex or not masturbating or any of that kind of stuff, not achieving some kind of climax is better for your health overall. I don't know that there's any testosterone difference. Again, I don't know, but instead of just going, I'm going to listen to what these idiots on the internet and TikTok say, I would actually read about it. I would talk to my doctor about it.
When we have our first physician guest on, and I know a couple, they can maybe tell us about that, because I can bring that up with them and ask, and we can ask them on the air.
Excuse me, can you tell me about LOOKSMAXXING?
Please, I really want to know about NoFap, if you could tell me that. Anyway, so Caleb, we talked about some of the stuff. Again, this is going to be just a kind of a whirlwind overview of what this is, so people that aren't familiar can kind of get an idea. And you guys, please do research if you're into this stuff. I'm of course with LOOKSMAXXING.
And by research, we don't mean just do a Google search. We mean actually look at reputable and credible sources for your information.
We are anti AI as far as art and creation go, but AI does provide a nice overview of where to find material. So if you ever go do a Google search, and it's mostly AI powered now. So if you type in, what is LOOKSMAXXING? An AI result will show up. But if you look at very tiny, there's links to the actual articles that they culled this information from. So I strongly encourage anybody who's doing any research to go in and click the links and go to the actual source, and then also vet that source. So, hey, this is an article from the University of wherever, but I want to see what it does. So just, corroborate it. Just take, it takes a little bit more time, but you'll thank yourself for it later. That's all.
And you'll be smarter.
And you'll be smarter, yeah. I feel a lot dumber for having read most of this, but I'll tell you, just like
God.
So I'm gonna rattle. We got into the ins and outs and kind of like the goods and bads, and I'll reiterate that later. But now I'm gonna do kind of like with this LOOKSMAXXING, there are so many absurd terms and so much slang that is derived from it. I have called, I don't know, maybe like half a dozen or so, and I want to.
I'm ready for these.
I want to see if you know what these are. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Let's do
we'll
this.
start off with mogging, MOGGING. Do you know what mogging is?
Mogging is the term for when a group of Moogles from Final Fantasy are together. They're called a mogging. It's like a flock of, but it's a mogging of Moogles.
Yes. It's like an apology of Canadians or a murder of crows. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a mogging of Moogles. That's what mogging is.
So I didn't know what it stood. I had heard the term because my son sends me just a deluge of memes constantly, and I feel so lost and so old. when I'm looking at them, like, I don't understand.
Some of them will be like 5 seconds long, and there's nothing until the last second, and then it happens aberrantly, and then you're like,
What?
that's it. What am I supposed to be seeing? And what am I? And they're cracking up, and I'm just like, this is stupid. I don't ever want to see this again.
I quite often respond with the nosebleed gif of like, what did I just watch? Like, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's accurate.
So mogging is internet slang derived from the quote alpha male of the group. So APOG, and it means outperforming, eclipsing, or making someone else look physically inferior by comparison. So super fun and cool, guys. Way to feel.
I like my definition better.
Yeah, I'm going to go by your definition. And on that term, frame mogged. So like a picture frame, but frame mogged. What does that mean to you? Have you heard of that before?
God, frame mogged. No, I'm going to say it's when that gaggle, that moogle, that mogging of moogles just stands for photo op.
Well, it does kind of, I guess, go, because most of this is social media based and looking good on, Instagram and TikTok and all that kind of stuff. This is a variation where where one person's upper body, shoulders, and back usually visually dwarfs another person's silhouette. So quite literally, the frame of one person is more defined, more overshadowing someone else.
It's more fucking ripped than that asshole next to him,
dude. Usually occurs with self-proclaimed chads. Do you know what a chad is? And not the thing from the voting back in the day from
dangling
our age.
Chad.
Old, so dangling chads. Well, not that. What a chad. You probably heard the term chad.
Like, from the way I've kind of listened to my kids use it, it's kind of just like
it's hilarious to me that your
to
kids
me
are doing this.
The way that I interpret that is it's like a big dumb dude, like just I'm strong and muscular and I'm fucking stupid though.
I mean, this is exactly what it is. It's basically used in incel and LOOKSMAXXING communities to describe the top tier of physically attractive and sexually successive males. So a chad,
they named it
like
Chad. No shade to actual chads. I'm sorry your name's been co-opted, but. Fuck,
I know, and
terrible.
I feel bad because I feel bad for all the Karens out there because their name has been co-opted too, and I know some lovely Karens.
Oh yeah.
So like the chat is basically just your top tier jarhead idiot kind of dude guy. Also Sigma and for lack of a term, Bateman maxing, which sounds really funny. Not Jason Bateman, but
Bateman maxing. Yeah, Patrick Bateman.
I had no idea what it's Patrick Bateman. So it's an internet meme. Subculture that idealizes hyper-masculine, emotionless, and often psychotic fictional characters like American Psycho's Patrick Bateman, played by...
These guys are also the same guys who look at like Brad Pitt in a Fight Club and like he's an ideal. This is the whole ideal as opposed to representing an absurd toxic behavior.
And I don't think Christian Bale is 100% like this, although he did get caught yelling at some production staff during the filming of a Terminator movie. But I think he might have gone to therapy then. But yeah, the ideal male model is his character from American Psycho, which is a great movie. But he plays this like alpha male guy in like the 80s. He's very like, or
but what I love about
it
too is it shows the deep insecurities that he has.
Oh yeah.
And the constant questioning if he's good enough. And so he's overcompensating in the areas that he can actually control, which are how do I look? How do I come across? What taste,
what
in
car
music,
am I driving?
all of that kind of stuff. That's stuff that anyone can control. But it's you cannot control how others perceive you, no matter what you're doing. So a Chad may be the physical, like, pinnacle of male masculinity and good looks or whatever. But again, my representation or the way I look at that is I'm like, he's fucking ridiculous. You're not good to me. So no matter how good he looks physically, he's a complete idiot to me. So that's just how it is.
It's a whole thing. So what about, you're an artist, hunter eyes versus prey eyes, prey, not pray.
Hunter eyes versus prey eyes. Hunter eyes, I mean, I'm going to guess are just, it's that look in the eye that says, I want you, I'm after you, I'm pursuing you. It's like something you would do in a flirting situation or a sexual encounter kind of thing, as opposed to, eyes that say, you can take advantage of me, or I am your prey. I'm helpless in your gaze.
Close, actually. It's kind of on those lines. I mean, that's not entirely wrong. They're hunter eyes, and I kind of had this the opposite because I always thought the other way was true. Hunter eyes are considered the ideal. They're deep set, horizontally wide and forward facing. So like you're a predator. You're out there. You're looking at like if you think of the animal,
you can't control
the
no
animal
matter
world.
What you wanted. You know,
No,
like you
you
can't
can't.
control how far your eyes are spaced apart. Blame your parents.
Yeah, blame your parents. Blame your genetics, really. So there's something called the Canthal tilt, which I wasn't aware of either. It's CANTHAL tilt. And it's the angle between
Is that
the
a cocktail or a roller coaster?
It kind of sounds like a roller coaster, or maybe the effect on your body after you get off a tilt-a-whirl. You have the Canthal tilt. You're just gonna the angle between the inner and outer corners of the eyes, often obsessed over in LOOKSMAXXING communities. So a positive Canthal tilt, sometimes called hunter's eyes, which is where we get the term, is where the outer corner of the eye sits slightly higher than the inner corner. So it's almost like I guess like kind of like you're a predator, basically.
The outer edge here is slightly higher
than the inner edge.
Overall angle of the eyes would be pointing inward and down.
Yeah,
it's like the inward angle there is.
It's believed that LOOKSMAXXers by LOOKSMAXXers to be more attractive to have hunter's eyes and display more confidence than a neutral or negative tilt. So that's where prey eyes comes in. That's the negative tilt. They're usually described as large, round, less desirable, like you're a prey animal. Like look at rabbits, the eyes are on the side of their head. They're very wide so they can see things that are coming at them. Any kind of prey animal in the animal world is like that, which I think are adorable, by the way, but whatever, that's them. I have a couple more terms. How about mid-face, which is funny. It sounds like
mid-face would be you just have a boring ass face.
No, mid-face is quite literally the area between the nose and mouth. A shorter, well-defined mid-face is a major focus.
So I was going mid as in, man, that's mid,
Oh yeah, when I first read it, that's exactly what I thought. What about ascension, which is very, ambiguous sounding?
That's where you leave this plane of existence for a higher version. So I don't know what the fuck it means in terms of physicality.
Honestly, you're very close. Transforming into a more attractive, successful, or higher status version of yourself. And there's an example, bro ascended after the haircut. He's a total Sigma. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. What the fuck, man? That shit knocks. Wow.
It's crazy. And this is what I was very disappointed. This is not what I originally thought. What is the PSL scale? I thought it was the pumpkin spice latte, but it's
I was going to say pressure sensitive labels. Like when I worked at a bookstore, you got those, you knew you had like the best fucking labels on earth when I worked at Barnes and Noble.
Pressure sensitive labels.
That's what they were called, PSLs, pressure sensitive labels, and they were like
hilarious.
Like you go into a bookstore, whether it's at like the fucking airport or like I love my local Barnes and Noble. I'm there all the time, and they'll often you go to the New York Times bestsellers rack, and they'll have all of those books there, and they'll have like 30% off up in the big corner. Well, if that thing was a normal sticker, it's going to rip when you try to tear it off. It could rip the dust jacket. It's terrible. So they had these pressure sensitive labels, and it was just an adhesive tech with a certain material that they would use. And when you go to pull it pulls off clean and leaves no residue.
Oh, it's kind of like a window cling in a way.
Sort of, yeah, but they still have like a sticker adhesive. So when you put it on there, it
don't
comes
rip
right
off like
the
paper
book.
underneath.
Yeah.
Oh, I like those.
Exactly. So
I'm pro
it's made for that.
PSL
So
then. I'm pro pumpkin spice
PSL.
latte and pressure sensitive labels.
I think if we had a pressure sensitive
latte
pumpkin spice label, we would, dude, this is it. Fuck this podcast. We're making those.
Oh, yeah. Or we could just fold it into the podcast because I really like doing this podcast.
Ooh, okay, we can do both.
Yeah, we'll talk offline about it. No, the PSL is a scale of someone's perceived attractiveness ranking, essentially where they supposedly sit in the dating marketplace. So 8, like the scale from
what's the
1
S?
to 10.
So
1 to 10. It's perceived I don't know. Perceived attractiveness ranking. I don't know why. Maybe perceived sexuality.
So why wouldn't it be PAR instead of PSL? I don't understand. Somebody make it make sense. Make it make sense.
I don't know why. And I thought it was like, let's see, PSL. Oh, it stands for the names of 3 defunct internet forums: PUA Hate, or PUAHATE, so PUA Hate, I don't know what that means, Slut Hate, and Lookism. So super cool exclusionary
Slut hate?
forums. Yeah, I don't hate sluts at all.
Nobody hates sluts.
They're doing the Lord's
God's work. Exactly. I like that you and I had the exact same thought.
Yeah, no, sluts. You're okay in our book, sluts. Keep being sluts.
Keep being sluts.
Just be safe about it. Get consent and all that. So that's where the S comes from, is pure hate, slut hate, and lookism, which all sounds real dumb, and I hate it. So it's the 1 to 10 scale. Like it's all like, oh, he's a 5, he's an 8, whatever. Fuck off. So dumb. So sub 5, basically kind of similar, is someone not a low 5 handshake, but someone who's considered below 5 on the 10 attractiveness rating. So calling someone a sub 5 is shitty. He's a sub 5, it's over for bro, which people are exposed to online.
I'm pretty sure I'm like a sub 2.
Nah, dude.
Or a sub T for subterranean. I'm best living underground.
I'll tell you one thing. You're a New Jersey 10 is what you are, buddy.
Oh, well, that's really nice of you. Thank you. God, what's a New Jersey 5?
Me. I'm a New Jersey 5.
You and the Jersey Devil, brother.
Yeah, man. We hang out in a lot of these forums together. It's pretty rough. So as you can tell, social media has a huge impact on beauty standards. And you'll remember, for those of old enough that remember this, from the 90s, you remember heroin chic, Kate Moss, the emaciated look where you're pale and you're really thin and have super stringy hair. And this mostly applied to female members of the community. But it's this unrealistic beauty standard that is perpetuated by people online that think this is the way to go. So I'm going to read a little bit. This guy named Terrell, Terril Bravender. He's an M. He's got a lot of letters and credits after his or her name. I don't know if it's a lady or a guy. I apologize. He's an MD master. I got to look it up right now. Terrell Bravender, because I don't want to misgender this person because they have some interesting.
What was the dude? What was Judge Reinhold's title in Beverly Hills Cop? The end of like Beverly Hills Cop 2. He shows up and he's got like, hey, it's what's his name again? And he's like, yeah, now I've got a new title. And he's got like
Axel Foley is the main character.
Yeah, but he's got a hat and he's got like 17 letters on it. And it's like, what is it? It's like Department of blah, 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 all the way down.
I honestly have to go back and see. I don't remember, but this guy is a gentleman, and he is he's a smarty pants. He's a Master of Public Health, Chief of Adolescent Medicine, and Executive Director of the Comprehensive Eating Disorders Program at the University of Michigan Mott Children's Hospital. So this guy deals with this kind of stuff a lot. So he says constant exposure to appearance-focused content may contribute to lower self-esteem, body dissatisfaction, and unrealistic expectations about beauty. This trend has raised concern about the lengths some individuals are willing to go to achieve what social media portrays as the ideal face or body. In some cases, it encourages young people to take significant risks in pursuit of this unrealistic ideal. And he's absolutely fucking right. This is like, what are you doing? Like, don't listen to some dipshit online to tell you how to look, man. If you're like, if you want to do it your own way because you want it, absolutely. But don't have somebody else influence doing some possibly horrific things to your body and at the sake of your health. Because, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, seriously.
It has never been normal to hit yourself in the face with a hammer for the vague idea that you could make your jaw look nicer. And for anyone to even put that out there as a possibility is insane and should be derided as such. There's no point in listening to anything that person has to say because they're intellectually compromised.
Yeah, and I'll follow up real quick because this is basically just gonna kind of solidify what I'm saying, what we already agree on. This is an article from a National Library of Medicine, and I'll link to all this stuff. I'll do my citation stuff, and if you'll bear with me, I'll read it. So this is from 2025. LOOKSMAXXING resembles an echo chamber of masculine demoralization. This is about the health or the mental side effects of it. Rather than a self-improvement community. By masculine demoralization, we mean that men are told that they deviate from accepted male beauty standards and they have no hope of having a romantic/sexual partnership or relationship, and that they are failures in men. This is how you get incels and manospheres, kids.
Jesus.
Although LOOKSMAXXING is positioned as a self-improvement practice, we argue that men instead weaponize the hegemonic masculine gaze against one another. So all men are judged in relation to masculine ideals, with most men found to be painfully inadequate and excluded from masculinity. In this section, this is part of the article, we demonstrated how the community produces tangible harms for members and their self-worth is eviscerated and suicide is encouraged in some cases. So you can go into this article, but it's so toxic. And unfortunately, when you're a teenager, all you want to do is fit in, and your hormones are going wild. You want to be attractive. You want to be popular. You want to be desirable by whatever person you want to desire you.
I mean,
and your self-esteem is just in flux constantly.
Even to the degree that you know, when I was not a popular kid by any
Nor I
stretch
wasn't
of
either.
the imagination, right? I was the kid who immediately fell in with the D&D playing kids and was
Mhm.
forever a nerd. So it didn't matter as long as one person who knew that followed me to like the next school after, you know, elementary into middle school or whatever, that followed me. So I was always on the outside of any popular anything. And after a while I didn't care. But I did care when somebody would make fun of the things that I was interested in because as a teenager, I attached a lot of my identity to the things that I liked. I liked video games and I liked you know,
Yeah, and a lot of people do. Like, if certain bands that you like, that kind of becomes part of
yes,
your identity.
absolutely.
Like, oh, I'm really into grunge music, or I'm really into like emo stuff, or
Yep.
whatever.
And
Yeah,
so somebody going, "Oh, that sucks," or "That's for losers," or whatever, I would feel bad. Now, I mean, now as a like a relatively healthy adult, somebody can say stuff about any of the bands that I adore, or any of the shows or artists or whatever that I love, and they can totally hate it, and I'm like, it doesn't bother me at all because my
no,
identity is not a part of that. You can like what you like, and that's fine. But as a kid, attaching your identity to those things. So for any kid who is made to feel that way, my heart just breaks for that. I cannot stand that idea.
yeah, and it does. Part of it comes with the territory of evolving into a person, and maturing and realizing what your own path is.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's getting back to the whole looks maxing of it all. It's these teenagers are so susceptible, and even the young men too. You know, people that are in their early 20s are so susceptible to this outside influence that it's just like it's so easy to exploit them. And I'm hoping that if you're someone who's interested in this, or know somebody who's interested in this, that you can start a dialogue with them and talk with them about it. And then if they need therapy, or if they need some kind of medical guidance in the right direction, in a safer direction, please do that. Also, because everyone's making content, including us two dum dums making this. So, and I mean,
Dum
that
dum
lovingly.
is the appropriate word. Yeah, I like
Dum dum. I call myself a dum dum pretty daily. So you have to really pick and choose what you have a choice of what influencers you respond to. And there are, from what I read, many looks maxing influencers that go into the safer, this is what you can do at home. This isn't going to cause you irrevocable damage. This is like a healthy lifestyle kind of stuff, like more of the GQ soft maxing kind of people. And those are fine. Those people are great. And if you want to follow them, great. But there are huge pieces of shit, like a guy named Clavicular. And I'm only going to go into one of them because I read a little bit
that
about him.
guy drives me up the goddamn wall.
I had never heard of him before I started researching this.
Oh
This guy,
God,
his name,
nope. He is a piece of work, man.
he's apparently very controversial. His real name is Braden Eric Peters. He goes by Clavicular. And he's probably the most famous of the looks maxing influencer crowd. He's active on TikTok and something called Kick, which I've never heard of. And he blurs. I'm reading here from these articles. Sorry, I'll cite this later. He blurs the line between satire and sincerity. Much of his content uses irony, absurd humor, meme language, and exaggerated internet slang, which in most cases would be okay. But he also appears to genuinely believe in parts of looks maxing ideology, and even promotes the dangerous practices like bone smashing or plastic surgery or steroids, or joking about taking crystal meth to maintain a slim athletic physique.
There's been
So
a lot
he's-
of
Yeah.
there's been a lot of interviews with him and things about him that I have seen from credible sources. So it's not like just somebody on the internet talking. It's a legitimate source. That of course I can't name now because I've seen it in passing or something. But
Right.
they've
So he's
talked
got
about
this-
how
he-
he's
yeah.
got like somebody asked him one time on one of the podcasts, when you're being, having sex with a woman, how important is it for you to help her finish? And he says, not at all.
It's been my experience, very important.
Yeah, because he's like, there's no return on investment for her, like for me, to give it for her to finish.
Oh, so not just being a real pal in the bedroom. I mean, come on.
Nope.
You want
He doesn't-
to both have fun. It's a tag team effort, guys.
Yeah, he doesn't care. And that's the thing. He
So
doesn't
fucking
care
crazy.
because it's about him. And so,
well, he's an
that's like,
alpha. He's a Giga Chad, which is the next level of Chad. It's the,
you know,
it's
it's
the
like,
super,
is that like the
it's king of the Chads.
Vegeta to, you know, like
No,
Chads?
Vegeta cares what Bulma thinks in bed. You take his fucking name out of your
I'm just
mouth.
saying, I'm trying to mean.
How dare you?
I'm just meaning like the evolutions of here. You've got, you know, like what's the next level?
Oh yeah.
Up,
like
know?
yeah, like Super Saiyan 5 Chad. Like he's like the next one up.
Right.
From that.
Yeah. There you go. Exactly.
I see. I was gonna say
Kame. You know,
how dare you besmirch the Prince of all Saiyans? Don't come at me with that. So yeah, it's obvious. I'm reading again that Clavicular knows the shock content plays into this algorithm, and that's why he gets clicks and likes. So he also I think he does have some kind of a cash system as well, where people can subscribe and pay like a monthly charge to listen to his fucking toxic bullshit. So don't do that. Don't latch or hook your wagon up to somebody that's gonna and you can so see, like, just by reading comments, just by doing a little bit of research. Like, I did the littlest amount of research on him, and this is the first thing that popped up, and there were many articles about him. So before you start going into like a health or lifestyle influencer and you're actually listening to them, just do a little digging. Believe me, people will tell you if shit's off. That's one thing about the internet. People aren't quiet about anything. They will tell you. So I'm not going to get into all the controversy and criticism because we've already talked about it a lot, but I do want to wrap up with this, and Caleb, you can have your final thoughts as well. But I know we've made a lot of jokes about this stuff today.
Oh, I have thoughts.
Good. And again, Caleb and I can't stress enough, if you are a person who wants to improve their looks, to have your ideal appearance, your body, whatever, you're well within your rights to do it. It's your body, your autonomy, do whatever you want. That goes for women, of course, and everyone of any gender, however you identify. I would hope that you would lean more on the side of the soft maxing methods instead of taking huge risks, because that's just crazy. If you're going to just do it like unsupervised, crazy risks, basically make good choices is what we're saying.
And take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Listen to people who care about you and their concerns. Do what you're going to do.
Right. Try to do it the right way.
Surround yourself with people who might challenge you or push back gently against some of your ideas to maybe help test them to see if they're actually things that you need to be doing, or if there's an alternative, or just to help you second guess and test your idea before you follow through.
As I get older, I've been taking more of a top-down approach with my mental and physical health. So fixing your brain and your trauma and your way you look at yourself will cascade down to other things. So once you get your mindset in the right way, and I'm not trying to, this isn't like a cookie cutter situation for everybody, but therapy, talking to people, trying to deal with that, because everyone brings their baggage into the situation, and that affects a lot of stuff. So it's like a ripple effect on the way down. So above all, what we're saying is do it for yourself. If this is what you want, do it because you want it, not because some dipshit influencer told you to do it.
1000%.
And honestly, really fuck what anyone else thinks.
Yep.
If you like the way you are and you're happy, then fucking live your goddamn life, dude. That's awesome. So many people, and I'm not trying to like get on a soapbox here, but so many people are like, and myself included, I'm a bundle of insecurity most of the time. I get it. I look at myself and I'm like, I don't like the way I look. I do that every fucking day. But if you love it and you're out there and you're happy with it, that's awesome. I'm jealous of you. That's fucking great. I want to get to that level.
100%.
So fuck what other people think. And if you're an incel or a member of the manosphere, go to fucking therapy.
Get some help.
Don't be that guy. Yeah, don't be that guy, literally. Self-improvement starts with fixing your brain, and straight women tend to want to fuck guys with their mental shit together. Not always, but it'll definitely increase your sexual odds, in my experience.
The chances are higher.
I'm getting off my soapbox now, but that was my whole rundown on this. Caleb, your thoughts?
Oh, God, I have so many. Yeah, I despair when I see people who believe the lies that these guys perpetuate. And they are predatory. They're doing it for clicks. They're spreading misinformation and dangerous ideas to make money. They're doing it because of money. They're doing it because of insecurity. And the more people who pay attention to them, the more money they make. And the more their name is spread around, the more money they make. And the more influence they are perceived to have. It's all of these guys, the Andrew Tates, the Claviculars, and the rest of the manosphere is 100% toxic bullshit. You can take care of yourself and love yourself, and there's nothing wrong with that. You're fine. Your looks are fine. right? If you want to change them, change them, right?
There's really nothing wrong with self-improvement, and don't make anyone feel like you have to, unless a doctor tells you, oh, you might want to change some stuff because we're worried about your health. Like,
Right.
Whatever, when it comes to exercising or taking medicine to make your heart function better or losing weight, whatever you want to do. If a doctor tells you that this is probably a good course, then listen to your doctor.
Yeah.
Don't listen to some guy with, 2 million likes on fucking TikTok or whatever, because they're not a doctor. Even if they are a doctor on TikTok, listen to your actual fucking doctor because they don't know who you are.
Good God.
So, but anyway, thank you for listening to this. This is a weirder theme than we usually do, but it is pop culture, and
it's a darker episode of Distracto.
It's darker, but the positive thing is that we want to make people aware of it. And as Distracto, we love you just the way you are. So please,
we sure do.
Continue to be awesome. And
our follow-up episode will be puppy-maxing, so we can kind of like go the opposite direction. We're going to have all the puppies.
Again, this is not something that I would have normally dive into like this, but like I said, I had to honor our first listener suggestion. So thank you, Kay. I learned a lot about the little research that I did do, or I should say, the little amount of the world of LOOKSMAXXING that I looked into. It's been eye-opening for sure. And once my face heals after I smashed it earlier, I'm gonna look awesome. I think it's gonna be great. And I can't remember math or the names of my parents, so that's probably an issue.
Hey, man, you know what? No, because that you've just memory maxed. You just I
hammer max is what I
hammer max your jaw pill.
Yeah, I don't. Please don't smash your face with a hammer or anything. It's not great. We're beautiful. You're beautiful the way you are. We love you. Thank you, Caleb, for this very bizarre.
Hey man, it's a trip.
Well, as always, please follow us on our social media, our Instagram, our threads. You can email us directly. We encourage you to email us at distractopod@gmail.com. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
You could write us a letter too.
You could write us a letter, absolutely.
A handwritten letter, or like what's the old telegraph? You could send us a telegraph.
Or you can wire us. Dear Distractopod, stop.
Send up smoke
Please talk
signals.
about puppy-maxing next. Stop. I hope this record finds you
Right.
or this letter finds you well. Stop. Or just Distractopod, stop, and then we don't do the podcast anymore. That would be
There
sad.
we go. Distractopod, stop. That's it.
And as always, remember, while Distracto can't solve your problems,
It can deny max you. No, it can.
yeah.
It can distract you from them.
Jesus. Anyway, I'm Brian.
I'm Caleb.
And we love you guys. Hope to see you next week.
Later.
Peace.
Hey, you there! Do you feel bored? Restless? Searching for a brief moment of escape from the nightmare hellscape our daily lives have become? Well, have no fear! Distracto is here! Distracto is a podcast that distracts from the drudgery of the daily dumpster fire. Join hosts Caleb and Brian each week for a dose of pop culture, reviews, comedy, deep dives, interviews, or just listen to them get lost down internet rabbit holes. Subscribe to Distracto today, where all fine podcasts are found. Follow us on social media or contact us at distractopod@gmail.com.